Switch. Switch. Usually what happens is your outer arm is tucked in and your inner arm, your palm's on your bicep. Yeah, but you're both on top. Switch. Yeah, and then what's funny, because when we're doing this for a second and I tell people, okay, do it normally now. Nobody can figure out what normally is. These are just little things you can do to point out how one-sided we may get on the physical, emotional, and mental level the longer you engage in practices. So what you always want to maintain, and Qigong especially, on all the levels, Jing, Qi, and Shen levels, you always want to maintain balance. Okay? If you get into one posture, and you can apply that posture on many different levels. I hold a physical posture. I hold an emotional posture. I hold a spiritual posture. How flexible are your postures? I will talk to you in a bit.
We will now collect our offering, which supports the mission and programs of the congregation. 1/2 of today's non-pledge contributions will go to the Tour to Save Democracy. This is a movement of pro-democracy Gen Z activists traveling to swing districts to flip red states to blue, pass bills, and save lives by supporting gun safety, healthcare, our planet, and more. We accept the contents of the basket on the piano up front, a check either in the basket or by mail, PayPal, and our text to give service on the screen. If you're able, please feel free to donate in the way that best suits you. If you would like your contribution to go towards your pledge or the cause specifically, please make a note using the method you choose. If you have any questions or concerns, please contact our church administrator, Monica Salas, as she will be happy to help.
Caught a dragonfly inside a jar, fearful when the sky was full of thunder, and tearful at the falling of a star. And the seasons, they go round and round, and the painted ponies go up and down. We're captive on a carousel of time. We can't return, we can only look behind from where we came, and go round and round and round in a circle again. Then the child moved 10 times round the seasons, skated over 10 clear frozen streams. Words like when you're older must appease him, and promises of someday make his dreams. And the seasons, they go round and round, and the painted ponies go up and down. We're captive on the carousel of time. We can't return, we can only look behind from where we came, and go round and round and round in a circle again. 16 springs and and 16 summers gone now. Cartwheels turn to car wheels through the town, and they tell him, take your time, it won't be long now, till you drag your feet too slow the circles down. And the seasons, they go round and round, and the painted ponies go up and down. We're captive on the carousel of time. We can't return, we can only look behind from where we came, and go round and round and round in the circle again. So the years spin by, and now the boy is 20. Though his dreams have lost some grandeur coming true, there'll be new dreams, maybe better dreams, and plenty before the last revolving year is through. And the seasons, they go round and round, and the painted ponies go up and down. We're captive on the carousel of time. We can't return, we can only look behind from where we came, and go round and round and round in the circle again, and go round and round and round in the circle again.
Today's speaker is Mark Reinhart, a practitioner of the energetic arts for over 60 years. Really? Mark has been a student, teacher, practitioner in all aspects of Chinese healing, martial, and philosophical arts since the mid-1960s. He's been a professional member of the National Qigong Association since 2006, served on its board of directors for 14 years, serving as president for 4 years, and is a regular presenter at national conferences across the country. He's the creator of 3 Rivers, 12 Steps, Qigong for Recovery, which addresses addiction and the addictive mindset. He will be speaking on what is your contribution. We will follow the sermon with a moment of silence for those who wish to reflect.
Hello again. That was interesting. The words for today, did you get that from my Be the Peace You Want to See in the World?
Oh,
Yes, indeed. Be the peace you want to see in the world. That's one of my things. I've always kind of looked at Gandhi's, something never really felt right about that. Be the change you want to see in the world. A lot of times, some people's view of change can lead to other people's oppressions. So I kind of changed that to be the peace you want to see in the world. Because if everybody's at peace with themselves, that spreads. That spreads. You know, you don't, because my peace might be different than your peace. But if we're at peace, like we're at peace. So maintaining that state of balance, that's what I'm wondering about, posing the question, or what are you contributing? We are all swimming, living in the same energetic web. The Taoists, we refer to this as the Tao. The Tao is the thing that gives birth to everything, and it is the same thing in everything. We're all part of this. We're all part of the same thing. The Buddhists talk often about the problems with the ego, because the ego views that there is me, there's space, and there's everything else. And the thing that a lot of times the ego cannot accept is, yes, the ego has to have a position. It has to be, I'm right, so that makes you're wrong. So I know better, so you have to know wrong. To accept is a really hard thing for an ego-based person. Okay. An acceptance means you're fine, whatever you want to do, which goes back to the fact of if you're at peace and if everybody's at peace, that's how we resonate. The surface of a lake, surface of water, when it's crystal clear and calm, it reflects the way everything is, the reality of it. If it starts, you drop stones in it and everything obscures the reflection. So you allow the surface of the lake to calm so you can actually see the moon. If it's all kind of like, if you're worried about this, it's so your contribution to the energetic field is if you drop it, we dropped a pebble in that water there. Translate the surface of that water out to the entire community and humanity. Everybody's dropping their own little things in there. So what kind of vibrations are you sending that send out? Are they in harmony? That's the big thing. If we can keep everything harmonized, it turns into a steady wave. If everybody's doing, any rock and roll musicians in here? Huh? It's all about bands. Yeah. Well, that's why I've been in the energetic arts since I'm 5, because I don't make a distinction between the musical arts and the Qigong arts and Chinese medicine, because it's all vibration. The old distorted guitar sounds. Okay. Remember distortion? You have tube distortion and you have transistor distortion. Okay. I'm getting into the musical weeds right here, but tubes distort on a very harmonious wavelength. So when you're listening to the old 60s guitar players and they're using the tube amps, it's more engendering to this. When you're listening to transistors, the harmonics are like, they're rough. So it's the difference. It's like, okay, what kind of vibrations do you send out? Are you at peace? Which goes back to my opening comment. Are you at peace with yourself? I always ask that. My concept is with the car keys. You know, if somebody can change your mood with a look, a word, a stance, something they said, something they did, you have given the keys to your car to them, and they are driving you. I am one selfish kind of guy. I drive my own car. I don't give my car keys to anybody, which means how at peace are you with yourself? Because if you're at peace with yourself, you know, you can walk into a room and you can feel, this gets into the feng shui realm where the vibrations of, this feels great in here. But there, you go to places, when you walk into a room, it's like, and you can feel it. Same thing with people. You know, what contribution are you making to the energetic environment around you? When you walk into a room, what impact do you have on the people in the room? And how do you react to it's all the interactions with all this stuff. So it's all vibrational. It's all vibrational thing. The thing that you can do to really implement everything is be at peace with yourself. Be who you are, accept who you are, whatever you're doing. I'm me. Okay. I have no choice. Every morning I wake up and it's still me. I start breathing and it's like, okay, I'm breathing the same way I used to. So how at peace are you with yourself and what you do? Because that, if you really want to impact, it's called the power of entrainment. Like when we were all doing the stuff and laughing and everything, the vibration of everybody, the whole place just goes. When everybody starts thinking, it's best example would be like AA meetings, support groups. Okay, go to a meeting. And then at the meeting, everybody feels great. You know, it's uplifting. You leave the meeting. And some people, sadly, will go into the, I feel great. I don't need to do my practice. I don't need to follow through between meetings. And then what happens is if you're not doing your daily practice, whatever it may be, you're not strengthening your battery so you can't hold the charge of that meeting. And then what happens is your batteries can't hold the charge and so a daily practice. Everybody have a daily practice here? Good, get one. Make sure you do something every day because this is what keeps your mind calibrated to what you want to be doing. I've gotten too crazy with stuff. I have daily readings. Every 4 years, I do a cover-to-cover read through of the Bible. I'm in Jeremiah right now. And I don't know if everybody's ever read the entire Bible. When people say, we have to get back to the Bible, have you ever read the whole thing? Especially the Old Testament. Yikes. No, but I have a translation from the Aramaic, which was the original language, which is interesting because some of the translations, like, the whole pillar of salt thing, where Lot's wife was turned into a pillar of salt because she turned around and looked. Pillar of salt is an Aramaic slang expression for dying of fright. So it's not the Cecil B. DeMille, John Huston, like, oh, you're salt. No, because I guess in the desert, there were salt formations that look like humans, but that's a slang expression for dying of fright. So when you read through things, I'm reading Bensky and Gamble's Materia Medica. I read one herb a day for China. This goes on and on and on. But yeah, do something and get into the habit of doing something that connects you with whatever spiritual practice that will keep you resonating on that frequency. Don't turn your control over. I mean, yeah, you can find plenty of stuff to hate, plenty of stuff to be angry at. That's out there all the time. But ultimately, it's your choice if you want to walk around with that vibration. You take it on. Drive your own car. Don't give your car keys to people or situations. I mean, how susceptible are you to a certain word? It's like, boom, just bounce off. Duck wings. That's the other thing I tell a lot of my therapy clients. Know what duck wings are? Yeah, definitely. Just take the face, and the cheeks are good. Duck wings. They're oily. You see two ducks. I think Eckhart Tolle was talking about this. If two ducks like invade each other's spaces, like, oh, and then turn around and go away. Now, when you deal with whatever you have to deal with, I'm sure as those ducks are swimming away, they're not going, it's over. Deal with what you need to deal with at the time, with only what you need to deal with it with. Everybody got that? Okay. It's a martial art tendency. I am only going to use as much force as being extended against me, and only to resolve that. Like Tai Chi is boring to watch. I mean, if you watch Tai Chi masters in push hands competitions, until somebody moves, it's over. Then it's over. It's like watching concert pianists. A friend of mine gave me a whole bunch of these VCRs of amazing concert pianists playing stuff. I mean, you listen to the music coming out of it, it's like, oh my, watching it, they're not doing anything. But yet that's refining whatever you do to a fine skill, so you really don't have to do stuff. Refining all your arts. And you watch anybody who has accomplished it, whatever they do, it doesn't look like they're doing anything. I always tell my students, I'm trying to teach you all to be lazy. Don't do a lot. So everything we do is geared toward a very low amount of energetic output. Yeah, but it takes a lot of work. I mean, it takes a lot of work to get to the point where, you can sit down at a piano and play something, the hands don't move, or you play guitar or something. Of course, the 80s rock and roll guitar. I played in rock and roll bands in the 80s. I heard I had a good time. But yeah, the hands all over the place. But really, really good players, nothing's happening with them. So it's refining. This is why a practice is not really a practice. It's more about the concept of cultivation. You're cultivating something, and you're never going to get anywhere with any of this stuff because there is nowhere to get. There's always going to be more Qigong forms, Tai Chi forms, more music to play, more this. The pursuit of the arts are the rewards, because as you refine things, as things calm down, you put out less and less energetic output, physical, emotional, or mental. And eventually what you do turns into just another part of you. It's like in Qigong and Tai Chi. The ultimate goal of Qigong and Tai Chi is if you're moving and you're breathing, you're doing it. That's just your natural nature. Is that, I hope somebody's writing these down because I come up with these things. I need a scribe behind me because I can't remember. But that's the whole idea, is to be at peace with yourself. That's a huge thing because it's the responsibility for all of the energetics that you send out. Okay. Every force will create a counter force. Everybody familiar with David Hawkins by any chance? Not Stephen Hawkins. David Hawkins wrote Power versus Force, which I would say that's the required reading for everybody. His contention is power just is. Force creates a counter force. So it's almost like a couple of books are called Truth versus Falsehood. Something is either true or it's not true. There is no false. It's just how things vibrate. There's one vibrational thing. I suggested reading. There's going to be a test next time I come back, so make sure you read that book. Yeah, it's the cultivation. It really, the responsibility we have for what we send out. It's a lot of responsibility, especially in the spiritual. The higher your vibrations go, the more accountability there is to the overall web of everything. So yeah, just, if you want to take a stance on something or think about something, make sure you're doing it from a balanced center. Like any effective fighter, you don't want to fight mad. Don't want to fight mad because you'll be doing stuff off from not a balanced position and you're asking for it at that point. So try to maintain your balance and understand the responsibility that we all have, especially when you start doing the spiritual practices. A lot of people walk around, they have no clue with this stuff. They're still sending stuff out, but as you start cultivating yourself, you understand the responsibility. Same thing environmentally, same thing with everything else. How many people turn the water off while they're brushing their teeth? How many people? My favorite is the people who are like really, really, really pro environment, right? What they'll do is when they go to the grocery store, if it's hot out, they leave their car running with the air conditioning on site. So it's cool when they come in. Great. It's how you live your stuff. That's the whole thing. Because that's all you can do is what you can do from a centered, balanced position without passing judgment or let everybody be where they're supposed to be. Another Buddhist thing is everything is happening exactly how it's happening, how it's supposed to happen. There's a concept, it's called rain. All right. Another Buddhist thing to keep in mind. R. I did that backwards. Recognition. All right. R, recognition. It's raining outside. Okay. A, acceptance. It's raining outside. I, investigation. How does the fact that it's raining outside make you feel? How are you interpreting the rain? If you work outside in a rainy day, hey, I don't have to work today. If you have something planned to go outside in the rain, oh, I can't. So how does the fact that it's raining outside, this is the I, this is the personal investigation on whatever is going on. And then N, non-attachment. It's raining outside. So there's the difference between detachment and non-attachment is when you detach from something, you're still kind of acknowledging it, but I'm not going to look at you. Non-attachment means it's still there, but it doesn't bother you. So just think rain in any kind of situation. Recognition, that person's like they are. Acceptance, that person's like they are. Investigation, how does the fact that that person is like they are affect me? And then non-attachment, that person's like they are. So that's kind of just the responsibility. It's like taking your own car keys. Be careful where you're driving. Drive the speed limit. I teach meditation while I'm driving because I drive the speed limit. Drives people crazy. Because I have taken plenty of classes from the Pennsylvania State Police on why not to drive over the speed limit. I've paid a lot of tuition for this. And plus, driving the speed limit, that gets rid of a stressor in your life. Okay. Now I don't care if there's cops on the side of the road because I'm driving the speed limit. But if you're always driving and you're going, oh, where's the cop? All right, that's a stressor that you could really get rid of in your life. And that's another way to examine a lot of the things. You know, how many stressors do you have in your life that you are self-imposed? Mostly all of them, if you really look at it. Anything that's stressing you out is your choice because there's no such thing as external stress. Everybody goes, huh? I base my life on my stresses. No, there's plenty of energetic interactions. They're the different pebbles that are being dropped in the big pool of energy that are causing all these waves. Okay. You have 100% control over the frame you put around all of this. We go back to rain, a stressful situation, you know, an acceptance. Okay. What's the opposite of death? Birth. Yeah. Life's eternal. So the opposite of death is birth. I was in a car accident. People said, aren't you worried? I said, no. Are you kidding me? I walked away from it. I mean, the samurai mentality is as soon as you're born, you're dead. The question is, how are you going to live until you die? That's the question. How are you going to live till you die? Most people are waiting to die before they die. No. I lost my brother in Vietnam. 1968, shot down, 101st Airborne. He was a captain in the Army. He was building villages for the Vietnamese people. Loved what he was doing. Got hit with a blast on a transport and a helicopter burned right through. Should we all be fortunate to die doing something we love? Yeah. So live your lives. Be aware of the vibrations you're sending out because you can change the environment around you by the vibration you send out. Want to watch traffic stop? Want to watch traffic slow down? Want to avoid rain showers where everything else is raining and all of a sudden it's not raining over your event? See, it's just try it. Try it. You have to experience these things for yourself. Okay, so I'm going to share a little prayer with y'all that I constructed. All right, so everybody stand. This is a centering breath kind of prayer. Everybody see me? Bring your hands in the center here. Bring them up through and come into a prayer position. When you do a prayer position, you see how open I'm keeping everything. Okay, because in Chinese Qigong tradition, if you're closed off, that impedes the flow of Qi. You want everything out and open. Okay, everybody close your eyes. This is my little prayer that I've constructed. I embrace divine presence, blessings, guidance, and protection, and give thanks for health, wealth, prosperity, clarity, wisdom, and the ability to continue to be of service. May all beings reside in peace. Send it out. Rock on.
Our second song is number 108, My Life Goes On in Endless Song.
My life goes on in endless song, above earth's lamentation. I hear the real, though far off hymn that hails a new creation. Through all the tumult and the strife, I hear the music ringing. It sounds an echo in my soul. How can I keep from singing? What though the tempest round me roars? I know the truth it liveth. What though the darkness round me close? Songs in the night it giveth. No storm can shake my inmost core, while to that rock I'm clinging. Since love prevails in heaven and earth, how can I keep from singing? When tyrants tremble as they hear the bells of freedom ringing, when friends rejoice from far and near, how can I keep from singing? To prison cell and dungeon bar, my thoughts to them are winging. When friends by shame are undefiled, how can I keep from singing?
Please join me in the closing words. In things essential, unity. In things circumstantial, liberty. In things yet to be, courage. And in all things, wisdom and love.
When I get to heaven, I'm going to shake God's hand. I'm going to thank him for more blessings than one man can stand. Then I'm going to get a guitar and start a rock and roll band. Check into a swell hotel. Ain't the afterlife grand? Then I'm going to get a cocktail, vodka and ginger ale. Yeah, I'm going to smoke a cigarette that's 9 miles long. I'm gonna kiss that pretty girl on tilt-a-whirl, 'cause this old man is going to town. Then, as God is my witness, I'm getting back into show business. I'm gonna open a nightclub called the Tree of Forgiveness and forgive everybody who ever done me any harm. Why, I might even forgive a few choice critics, those syphilitic parasitics. Buy 'em a pint of Smithwick's and smother 'em with my charm. 'Cause I'm gonna get a cocktail, vodka and ginger ale. Yeah, I'm gonna smoke a cigarette that's 9 miles long. I'm gonna kiss that pretty girl gonna tell the world, 'cause this old man is going to town. Here we go, boys. Ya-da-da, skiddy-da-ba-doo-boo-boo. Ya-da-da, ya-da-da-da-da-da-da. Skiddy-da-da-doo-boo-doo. Da-da-doo-boo-boo. Da-da-da-da-ba-ba-ba-ba.
Oh, that wasn't the end. That's all right. That's okay. Don't worry about it. We're running a little over, so I'd like to thank everyone who made this service possible. Mark Reinhart, Jill for being our tech person today. Day one. She did great. Jimmy for being our greeter, Bernadette for being our coffee host, and it was my pleasure to be your convener this morning. I'm sorry, Jane. I don't know how Jane turned into Jimmy, but thank you, Jane. As Unitarian Universalists, using your voice is vital to our success as a whole. Please use your voice today to fill out the worship committee survey and let us know what you think about our services. We use these surveys to help us in our planning for future services. Speaking of using our voice, we now have our social action minute from the social action committee. Jenny.
I had a whole nother topic planned, and I had carefully researched it, written notes, and then I changed my mind yesterday morning because I was one of the people who was at the Weinberg Food Bank. I also volunteer at the Breadbasket Food Pantry twice a week, and Shannon and the awesome people at the Pagan Pride Festival. The food flies off the shelves of our food pantry. I can't tell you how much it means. When we listened to a presentation yesterday at the Weinberg Food Bank, I heard something that I hear every single week at the Breadbasket Food Pantry, which is someone saying, look at that woman, she just got her nails done. Look at the car they're driving. Look at how they're dressed. Why are they here at the Breadbasket Food Pantry? And it has to do with the moral judgment we pass on each other every day, undeservedly so. How many of you growing up heard your parents or someone else say, don't complain, there's a child somewhere in a war-torn country that is starving and you have no right to be sad about your life? We cannot and should not quantify human suffering. Yes, the child in that war-torn country is suffering, but the suffering and pain of someone right next to you is no less real. And yet our society is structured in a way that we extend help and compassion to people on a scale with all these eligibility criteria to quantify whether or not they need or actually deserve our help. That's horrifying. One of the more egregious examples of that in the state of Florida is they decided that anyone receiving public benefits, such as SNAP or temporary assistance to needy families, should have to undergo a drug test. They did this. 2% of the people tested positive and discovered that it cost more to administer the test than it would have to simply extend the aid. But the really horrifying thing about that is, I asked, so what? What if you do test positive? What if you're struggling with substance abuse? Does that mean you shouldn't be able to access aid? That you're somehow less deserving? So in our infinite wisdom, we've decided that some people's lives are worth more than others. Imagine if a fireman or an EMT used that train of thought and they came to a burning house and the person inside was a junkie Do they somehow decide that it's not worth it to risk their life for that person because they've somehow passed a moral judgment on them? I'm about to share something really personal. I have two brothers, and my eldest brother, who has struggled his whole life with depression and anxiety, also tried on 2 occasions to take his own life. My middle brother, who, well, I'm about to pass a judgment on him, but he, upon hearing this, he and my sister-in-law, his wife, said, "What's so bad about his life?" What a terrible statement. So I ask that we all, individually and as a society, listen more carefully and judge less harshly. But also, the first individual that you judge the most harshly is yourself. You're asked, why does it take so long to get over the death of a loved one? Why are you still dwelling on that? How long does it take? And I say to you, it takes as long as it takes. Be gentle on yourself.
Thank you, Jenny. We'll now have congregational announcements from our president, Isaac Von Roo, and then please join us for coffee and conversation.
Good morning. Next Sunday service will include a blessing of backpacks. So if your school-age children or anybody, I guess, who has a backpack, please bring them to be blessed. There will also be a pet blessing, so please bring photos of your pets if you would like them to be blessed. Every Tuesday, we have Zen meditation starting at 4:45 to 5:45. See Beth Black if you're interested in that. Following the Zen meditation, we have Recovery Dharma every Tuesday. So if you're interested in that, it's available. Every Friday night at 8 p.m., there's Dungeons and Dragons. On Monday, tomorrow, there's a online full moon ritual at 7 p.m. on Zoom. If you need the Zoom link, it is in the announcements or see me. On Tuesday, we have our board meeting at 7 p.m. Everybody is welcome to attend. On Thursday of next week from 6 to 7, there's going to be a labyrinth cleanup. Our annual camping trip is this weekend, Friday and Saturday. So if you're staying over, hopefully the weather will be nice. And if you're not staying over, people are welcome to come for the potluck. So that is available. The full moon labyrinth walk will take place on Saturday, August 24th at 8 p.m. There's a monthly CUPS, Covenant of Unitarian Universalist Pagans, online book discussion Wednesday, August 28th at 7 p.m. on Zoom. And Saturday, August 31st, there's going to be a children's labyrinth walk from 1 p.m. to 2:30. Are there any other announcements that people would like to share with the congregation? Yes, Jenny.
It's downstairs. You might want to grab us. I mean, I know they can't.
I'll repeat it. I'll repeat it. Yeah.
In the freezer, we've also got, I'll let the green team report on all the produce.
So the garden is, of course, flourishing right now. There is food on the table. There's cucumbers, there's potatoes, there's all kinds of things we've gotten out of the garden. Please go down and take what you need or you want to have. That is why we're doing it. So the garden downstairs. Do you have something you want to add?
Yeah, the purple beans are green beans.
The purple beans are green beans.
In the sky, in the sky. Don't be scared by the purple beans.
They're actually delicious, so yeah. And one other thing, September 18th, it's a Wednesday, the Peace and Justice Center will have its award ceremony at the Apple Tree Inn. And Jim Spott is the recipient of one of the awards. He's of course a member. I forgot to say, Save the Planet. That was part of the awarding thing, and we missed that. But if you'd like to join us at the award ceremony, just let me know.
So just to repeat for everybody on Zoom, we do have a food pantry, including lots of fresh produce. And so if you are interested in getting anything, contact me and I can arrange a time for you to come and pick up stuff. And also Jim Spock is being awarded at the Peace and Justice banquet in September 18th. So if you're interested in attending that, contact Brian Dugas. Yes.
Just for anybody who can't actually get here, and they do need to drop off, I am willing to do that.
Sure. Yeah. So Michelle has offered if anybody needs access to the food pantry but can't get to the church, she is happy to deliver to anybody locally. Anything else? Okay, please join us for coffee and conversation.
Purple beans.
Purple beans. If you would like some purple beans, we have lots. Yeah, maybe next number. Yeah. I
Yeah, I'll hang on.